Hello, Vilma, and thank you very much for making time for this short interview. We were both part of the murrosagentti this year with Pirkanmaan, and it would be great if you could introduce yourself and share with us what you do.
So hi, I'm Vilma Rimpelä and I'm the CEO of Rare Media. And what we do at Rare is that we create content to social media and journalistic content that is inspired by the UN's Agenda 2030 principles. And our target audience is young people, especially. And we create content right now to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And we are just a group of young people from Tampere, from the areas of media, culture, and journalism, wanting to make a change to the world with the tools of journalism. And I'm one part of that.
Okay, that's great. And you created Rare Media with a collective, with a group, or it was just you at the beginning?
It was a group straight from the beginning. Like in 2017, in the end of the year, I met Orna Benlulu, who is our editor-in-chief. And we found out that we both work in Tampere and do different stuff that are interesting to each other. And then we decided that we should meet with a bigger group where would be like my friends from Raja, which was or is a video production company. And then Orna had a friend from Swag ry, which creates events and parties and installation art in Tampere. And so we came together and started thinking that how we could work together, because we all have similar interests but different skill sets. And then we had this idea of founding a new media and it has been a bumpy road, but now we are working as a company daily basis, and it's very cool.
That's great. That's great. And what is your business model then?
Our revenue model and business model right now is creating unapologetic journalistic content with different kind of partners. We had this big kickstart from Helsingin Sanomain-säätiö in the end of 2019 when we end up winning this innovation contest called Uutisraivaaja, and we got 250,000 euros to create our idea and fulfill our dream. But after that, we have budgeted the money for a couple of years, and during this time we founded a company and started working on daily basis and making it a sustainable business. And right now we are, for example, working with different kind of partners like Yle and Kansallismuseo and these kind of companies or organizations that have the similar interests with us, but also the values are same with us, and they have a message that we would like to share. So yeah, that's about it. I think the model in one word or two words is commercial collaborations in the field of journalism.
Okay, that's great. And you yourself and your partners. Can you hear me? Okay, the sound is good. Okay. Are you all coming from a sustainable background, so to speak? So, do you have in your family you had these discussions about climate change, about politics, and all this, or was it a little bit of a journey for you to join the movement, so to speak, and become a change agent and create your activity like that?
I think for me it has been a sort of a journey. I have been surrounded by people who has been very interested on making a change in the world, but also interested about what's happening in the world, like basically. So I have learned from my friends and other people and getting some influence from them. And then when we started Rare, working on the idea of Rare in 2018, we started to have this idea that if we want to make a change in the journalism and make something that resonates with young people that isn't already there in Finland, we should focus on the sustainability, because it's like our generational experience to be part of or in the middle of climate change and seeing all the injustice going on and all that kind of stuff. And young people, even younger and younger people, are interested about these topics. So this was like one thing that drove us to go further with that. Mm-hmm. And other members of our team has similar background that I have. Our editor-in-chief, Orna Benlulu, is like the most sustainability professional from our team, because she has studied it a lot, and she is a part of this Agenda 2030 group in Finland. And I myself see that my strengths are more like in human rights and equality and that kind of stuff. So all of us in the team are interested in different sides of sustainability.
Okay. And do you know your audience? Are you meeting your readers or followers? And how many do you have? How many followers do you have?
Right now there is a little bit under 5,000 in Instagram and TikTok both, and YouTube we just started, so not that much there yet. And they are very active group of people. We haven't met these people like in real life, but or in the in real life, but in the comments and in the sharing in Instagram and stuff like that, we can learn from them and communicate with them and find out that if they like it or not, and what their thoughts are on different aspects of sustainability.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's true that information is so key, and it's so key to feed the motivation and take courage and also learn and understand, because all these issues are so complex. And in France, we can see the alternative medias, engaging very much with their audience. That's why I was asking also, because the tension with the mainstream media is huge. So the alternative media have a very strong identity, and once in a while they organize, for example, a crowdfunding campaign, and this is a very great opportunity for us reader to connect with them, to go deeper, to engage even more. So I was wondering if you are having that kind of very direct relationship with your community, or maybe not yet. And what is there a tension between Yle and you? Because obviously you need them to work, but obviously their analysis sometimes can be criticized or mitigated, or I don't know. So how are you dealing with that?
I can like relate to that you were explaining what's happening there, because the one main thing why we founded Rare was that we bumped into this article in Journalist magazine in Finland that were talking about that journalism doesn't reach young people, and young people are in social media platforms. So that's why we founded a media on social media platforms. And actually, we are in the first media in Finnish history that is in social media only and is accepted as a part of julkisen sanan neuvosto. I don't remember what's that in English. Council of Public Speech or something like that. And we see that we ourselves, but also many of our followers, feel like the mainstream media doesn't cover all the topics that young people maybe would like to hear, but more importantly, the formats are like something that could have more variance, and that's what we are exploring. Like Rara is also a media laboratory, and we try to audiovisual ways to get the information in fast form, for example. And when it comes to like the tension between us and the mainstream media, one thing we found out is actually that young people feel like the mainstream media isn't a diverse and inclusive enough to cover or represent the whole country. And it's a big task, but it's something that journalism is like promising to do. And we found this out because we made this diversity in Finland. And it is actually in online right now. It's called Kenen tieto. Unfortunately, it's only in Finnish.
It's
but
fine. It's normal.
In that study, we, for example, asked the audience that, what do you think? Like ask the audience, what do you think about diversity in media? And we found very interesting results in that. So that's something that actually really spotlights the tension and the problem, or one of them, in the mainstream media.
Yeah, of course. It's true that there is a lot to do in that sense in the Finnish society for many reasons. Bring more diversity, also from a foreigner point of view, but it's accelerating. It seems like since a year or two, I can see more and more initiatives and more groups of people. So it gives hope that it can be achieved. When we know how Finns can be dedicated and hardworking, when they understand something and they want to implement it, we can have good hope. Okay, that's great. Are you also working with artists? Are you opening your lab? You said you are a creative lab, so are you opening to cooperation with artists, or I don't know, ministers or entrepreneurs? Like, do you have this kind of mingling mindset, or you are just journalist and you write or create videos?
We are very interested about different kind of collaborations, and one thing is that, like, we see that art is a great part of making a change also. And a good example of this was that last year we had a campaign called What the Fortum, where we had this, or arranged this virtual rap battle between Finnish rap artists and Fortum, the energy company in Finland. And we want to question the sustainability and the sustainability of the marketing of Fortum, because they are supporting coal power, but still they are saying they are very green company, and young people were really talking about it, and media also. So we want to find out a way to make young people even more interested about energy politics, even though it can be something really hard to reach if you are not very interested about it already. So we actually found 5 rap artists, for example, Paleface and Adikia, who wanted to accept the challenge to challenge Fortum with a form of rap. And we just made a brief with Greenpeace for them, so they had this journalistic background while when they started writing the rap. So that's one way of combining art and journalism and activism, I think.
Yes, I remember that moment where this huge energy company was heavily criticized. And how did they react to that?
They actually answered us, which was really good. We had a little bit of discussion with them before starting the battle, so they knew about it, and we heard that they were talking about it inside the company. And then they answered us in email. So that was already a success for us, that we as a very small media got an answer from Fortum. They explained in a long email about the sustainability part in their work. There was something that we would still like to question, but we are happy that they were still open to even some way discuss with us. So Fortum accept the battle, I guess.
Okay, that's great. And have you observed, like, it seems that there is a big push coming from Kesko Group in its supermarket since a few weeks, maybe months, with more and more organic products and more local food. And they are really, you can find many things that were impossible to find a few months ago. And I'm trying to interview them and reach at them. So maybe you will be more successful. But it's also very interesting because to me, coming from France, to see how Finland relies on supermarket is like very impressive, because you would expect this very natural country, you know, to have farmers market, you know, and more local, less industrial production. So I think that also the big groups tend to change, and it's great if the civil society can really like challenge them to do more.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's really interesting.
Okay. So what is the next exciting project you are working on, if you can share? You said you started YouTube, so this is recent.
Yeah, we are working on different kind of YouTube series right now, and they will be out in the autumn and in the winter time. So more about that later on. But then we are right now a part of, or a media partner of Lahti European Green Capital. So Lahti is the European Green Capital this year, and they wanted to work with us during the whole year, and we will be creating content about that topic and their projects and stuff like that. And we have already done it, but it will get further. So that's a cool thing to do. And also in the autumn, we will have more events, because we launched the Kenen Tieto handbook for more diverse and inclusive journalism uh, in the beginning of this month, June. So now when the COVID is, we can't arrange any events, and it's summer and journalists are maybe having holidays. So in the autumn, we will have workshops for young journalism students about diversity and inclusion. And then we will have a bigger event in November in Klubi in Tampere, arranging with Vikes and Journalistiliitto and yhdenvertaisvaltuutettu, creating this club event that will be kind of way to meet another journalists and people who are interested in diversity and inclusion, but also having different kind of performances and keynotes on the topic. So that's something I'm really like looking forward to.
Great, that's great. And would you like to share with us if you would like to see more sustainability in Tampere, in the region, and where? From journalism, I get that, but is there something like a vision you would like to share?
Well, when I started being part of this change agents work that Pirkanmaan Liitto is making, I realized how many people are working on these topics and working on sustainability in Tampere. So I would dream, or I am dreaming of having this network that already has been created, but also would include more people than just people who were part of this change agents thing. And I don't know what would it be, but in my head it could be some kind of events where you could meet people and meet new people and make contacts, because I think we could have an even more wide and tight network of companies and organizations and other people who are working on these topics.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for your time, and hope to meet you soon in face to face.